Hey there, it's Chris. Welcome back to the next part of the Bang Shishigami project. I believe we're at part number 38 at this point, and I'm finally getting ahead of the game. This one's not being uploaded tonight, it's still Saturday, so I'm slightly ahead of the game again. This is good. And last time we did kind of a little more of the detail-y things. We put on the belt, we started getting the metallic areas to look a little more metallic. We finished off like the shoe area. We even put scar over on his face. Finally. Look at that smile. See, he's smiling. He's not evil. And today, big goal today is we're going to turn. He's going to have the biggest transformation. He's going to get his green. He's going to get all his green stuff going. At the same time, I'm going to start off. I'm going to finish the first coat of the metal on the legs here, on the other leg here. Everything else is done. And I'm looking at the other kind of images, specifically this one, and the upper part, the contrast in the upper is not terribly bad on the gauntlets. Even that could use maybe a little bit of something. But I think I want to remix this with a little bit of kind of black in there, kind of tone it down a little bit. So once I do this and I do all the green work, I want to come back and tone this down so it blends a little more with the blacks that are on here. Not necessarily that dark, but I think then the gold kind of filigree stuff that goes on is really what's got to make it pop, not the lighter metal pieces on here. So that's kind of my goal for today, is do kind of the big chunks type stuff, and then we'll go back to doing kind of more probably detail-y ones. Next episode, we kind of go back and forth with big changes and little changes until he finishes himself out. So let's take all of this stuff off, because we don't need any of this stuff. This one still is impossible to come off. I don't think he's going to be ending the day wearing the scarf, because again, all this stuff is going to be just painted green, so there's going to be that. Okay, so first thing, like I said, I'm putting a second coat on here, so I want to have all of this read the same. So when I do the second coat, I'm starting from a similar base on everything. So yes, it's not the color I want it to be, but this will make life easier for the next step. Otherwise, I am happy to report in the roughly 2-hour span between the previous session and this one that I'm doing, my one video did finally hit the Spartan recap review one, finally got to triple digits organically. It's up to 101 now. We finally passed that. We were 99 before. We finally made it. Yay for arbitrary yayness. Which, considering I think my next highest... Okay, my next highest video has like 51 or something. That was the very first one I put out. But really, beyond the very first video, nothing else has even come close to 20. So, it's nice to have... It's like a little feel-good thing, having something that people actually view. It means absolutely nothing, because most people are kind of clipping on and clipping off when they realize it's a review and not just we're showing movies. But it's more of like a blog thing. But still, it's something. For whatever it counts as, it's something. The simple things. But no, on one hand, I wanted to put off today's things for a while because I wanted that green to be kind of like the last, like, kind of real big hurrah type situation, because that will absolutely change everything. But at the same time, we're at that point, and I'm not angling the camera anywhere where I need to be. I don't think any of that knee stuff was done on camera. Are we on camera now? So yeah, we are kind of centered on camera now. Okay. Yeah, no, I've wanted the green thing on. I'm really curious. That's what's hopefully going to bring it all together. At the same time, you're going to be surprised how much adding the gold details will. Because when I did the cat one, all of her gold filigree was the last thing I'd done. It kind of stayed white until then with the primer. And that really helped transform it. And I think that's also going to be kind of the same here. So yes, the green is going to do a lot. Don't get me wrong. But at this point, with the stuff that's left, any individual kind of color, those are actually really the only two individuals, the green and the gold stuff. But yeah, each one of those is going to add bigly to the overall effect of this piece. So hopefully in a good way, cross the fingers that everything works out the way I'm hoping it does. But I need to kind of cut in nicely here. Yeah, so this one is going to be the green and this kind of metalwork. Next one is going to be probably second coat of green, first coat of the gold kind of stuff. Maybe not the whatchamacallit, the decals on the jacket, but kind of like all the other kind of goldish kind of work. The decals are probably going to be one coat and done. So those decals will very likely be the absolute last thing that's done. So yeah, today is the metal and that. Next time is going to be green and the gold stuff. And then the final time is probably going to be those details and maybe getting the hair kind of lightened up and get the bangs and stuff. The highlights, that's the word I'm looking for. The highlights I can kind of get a little more correct, and kind of any other detail work that I have left at that point. So I'm hoping it's just a couple more sessions, but we will see. But at least I kind of have, for once in my life, I feel like I have a game plan again. Or at least the first time in a while on this project, I feel like I have kind of a game plan going again. Again, the rest of the red, I've only done one additional coat of red so far. So right now I only have 2 coats on the red stuff. So they're going to need several more before they kind of read correctly. But again, I'm going to be doing those. I haven't had that much time between sessions at this point. So for right now, they are what they are. But we're going to get to that eventually. Okay, silver is good, or whatever that is. The metalwork. I'll just call it metalwork because I don't really have... metalwork is not done. Metalwork is not done. We have... Wait, did I do that? I think I put the gray on there. I don't think I had you shine. So, never mind. It was just... I've got a buckle to put on here. We need this to have a little bit of shiny. Back buckle I'm not even going to worry about. I know I did a coat on that before. That is going to get destroyed when I try doing the green. So yeah, because that is going to be so hard to get right. And we're just going to... Yeah, this whole thing... Well, might as well. I have this thing here. But yeah, when I try doing green stuff on here, that's just kind of... I see very little chance of that turning out well and not having to just straight up redo it all. But, okay, I can put you back in there. For not thinking I have that many colors, apparently I have 4 colors right here. I have 5 of these colors now stored away in plastic Ziploc bags. So... Okay, so far everything has kind of been shiny, shiny, shiny as we've gone for the last while. A lot of these detail things have kind of either the satin or metallic finish that we've been doing. But for the fabric material, we are going back to the matte finishes. So I put you down, put you there. And to work with, I only have apparently 1 green that came with the kit. That... Again, when I first bought these, I just kind of bought a kit, and then I've been buying kind of extra additional ones from that to hit specific purposes. Maybe it's like to get perfect skin tone or this, that, or the other. But I'm at a point now where I can just kind of mix stuff and just make it work. So we have a grass green that came with it, which as you can see does not match that one at all. It looks like it needs like a hint of yellow or something, so I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow to this thing, see if we can kind of bring it back into a little more vibrant color than this one is. And again, we can do our first coat, see how well the first coat goes, then we can always alter things on the additional coat. So let us, as you can see, I have never done anything with green before because apparently I forgot. It might be nice to, I don't know, pre-open these things. So if you're curious how many of my models actually contain green, which now this is good. This means if I haven't used it in a while, all the pigment is probably sitting at the bottom. So even if I'm trying to mix it like this, and I'm probably making you sick because frames per second versus how fast I'm doing this, apologies, there's probably going to be a disproportionate amount of pigment in the bottom because I actually bought these things a long time ago and then got intimidated from actually doing it. Kind of like how when I first bought the clay that I used to do clay models, I bought the clay, got all the tools, got it all ready, and then I kind of chickened out and started drawing stuff for a while instead, and then 2 years later I came back and started the clay modeling part. It's kind of the same. I'm going to put a lot in here just because there's going to be a decent amount of paint going on. Kind of did a little bit of the same thing with the paints, where after I'd started with the model, it's like, oh, this model is going to be my first painted one. I get back to it, it's like, no, sentimental value. Oh, no, this one's going to be the next one. No, sentimental value. So it's the same thing. Taking each additional step, you have to get over that kind of sentimental value feeling you might have. Okay, you are also a matte. I'm going to add, let's start with a little bit. We might be kind of adding more and more of this as it goes. But I want to get a little more of a vibrant green going. And already that's better than it was. It's not there, but that is better. It's becoming a little more vibrant. And I do want to mix enough on this just in case it does work. I can get a couple coats because it's easier just working off of one amount than trying to mix the correct thing twice. Now, now I'm at a point where I'm not sure what it's missing. It's missing something, and I'm not sure what. Now again, in this image, he looks like there's a white or a yellow light kind of shining down on him. So everything is kind of hued. That's why I kind of keep going to this one, because this one seems a little more... That doesn't quite feel right either. And I'm in that range of I'm not sure what is missing. Let's bring you up here. How did you go? It's almost like a little bit of brown or something in there might be helpful. I just happen to have a little terracotta on hand. Yeah, I know it's not brown per se, but it's a little... Can I not have lines on my screen? Okay, let's add a little more of the yellow. Now, last time when I did the hair, what looked 100% correct in here wound up going on him very different. So maybe I'll just take this, I'll use this as a first go, and we'll see how it actually dries, and then I'll go from there. Because last time this got me in trouble, because again, this is wet. When it dries, it's going to dry a slightly different color, and I know that's going to come and bite me royally as this goes on. So, yeah. Let's see, we need to take you off, and how am I going to be able to... Okay, so if I store you, I can just kind of put you down like that. So, let's see, I just used that brush. Do I want a small brush? I do have... There is a decent amount of cutting in that has to go in on this. So we might be doing this with... Let's see, do I have a brush that's going to work a little nicer? I do have a little bigger brush. I can try the little bigger guy here and see how this works. Because there is some cutting in, but it's not a terrible amount of cutting in that I have to do. So maybe, because again, a lot of this is kind of big open space as well. So I don't want to use just the tiniest brush possible for everything on this, because that may not work either. All right. Well, I don't know if this is the right green or not, but I am liking this more than just the grass color green. It has a little more life to it. It's actually a fairly vivid green. This might be okay. It doesn't quite look like what's in there, which is awesome. And I know when I'd mentioned before, I see these lines kind of that came down the pants, and I mentioned, oh, those orange things, they're actually not orange. I'm just really colorblind. I think when my eye sees a shadow line that was created from that, it interprets that as the complementary color to green, which is red. So it kind of came out in my mind as a kind of a reddish thing, but it's actually it was actually literally just a shadow line and nothing more. So really everything gets green. There is no other kind of cut in color going on. It's just everything will get this green, and that's just that. Oh cool, we have that bang is the one we're going to have. That's the bang we're looking at right now on the side. So that's... You know, we haven't looked at the bang over here in a while, so let's keep that happy bang. Again, he's the one from BlazBlue Central. I'm not sure which specifically the other ones are from. He's from Central Fiction. That is the character select screen image from BlazBlue Central Fiction. So that is a very in-game image of him. It is also the most hilariously bad in a way. It just, I don't think there's anything anatomically correct about that image. But there it is in the end. It kind of reminds me of that one Captain America image, if you've ever seen it. And if you know which one I'm talking about, then you just know what it is. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, then you've never seen it before. But there is one that's just so absolutely anatomically incorrect. Neck kind of pushed back like this, chest kind of coming out. And you see it and it just makes you laugh. Like, well, yep, that is a professional artist has done this kind of thing, and okay. It just is. Okay, getting the paint all the way in here is the trick, because we got the white in there, and if we were able to get the white in there, we need to get green into these same spots. Okay, so I'm almost feeling I need to add just a touch of black to this one too to tone it down. This is very vibrant and light, so I think the colors I'm not opposed to, but the vibrancy I think is too much. It just needs to be toned down. So, not terrible, but the second coat will get a little bit of a change. Right now this is like Ninja Turtles green, which I'm sure if you walk into like a Sherwin-Williams or Ben Moore or something, they'll go, if you ask for Ninja Turtles green, they'll probably pull it off the computer and go, yep, there it is. Somebody did name it this way, but... Okay, I'm going to need to move my fingers soon because I'm holding this in all the wrong places. But this is part of just, if you're making your own kind of concoction of colors or whatnot, this is just part of the game. Sometimes it comes out like 100% correct and you're happy and you're good and you're like, all right, this works. And sometimes it's like this where, okay, we're close. We're not quite there, I said the hair wound up a little too dark. This is a little too vibrant, but we're close. But at the same time, once you get started, you kind of want to finish the coat. So if you do another one on top, at least everything is starting from the same base in color. And yeah. That is the boat we are in right now. So I can't wait till I get the preview up on here. I have to make like a thumbnail image and everything is going to look wrong. And anybody who wants to actually view the video, all of you guys are like, this is what we're watching? We're going to watch this ding dong here, get the colors so far off. Okay. He seems to know what he's doing, so maybe we'll watch, but I don't know. We'll see. This thing actually takes, given as long as this takes to actually apply, it might be just dry enough to do the second coat right here and just put it right on top. So I could go and forego doing the metal stuff and just work on this green and get it right. But at the same time, we'll see what it looks like when it dries, because things change when they dry. From what it looks like when it's wet versus dry are usually two very different things. They're at least moderately different things. So we'll see what it looks like at that point. As I'm doing the legs, this will dry. So not super concerned. That said, I have no idea how many coats this green is. I know the reds take a lot of coats to kind of get them correct. The greens, I'm not as sure how many coats this is going to be. Again, you saw I had to physically open this thing up live because I've never used it before. Generally speaking, people don't paint rooms in their houses green, so it doesn't really come up very often. I know the rule of thumb is you're not supposed to paint a bathroom green, because if you look at yourself in a mirror, it makes you look sick because of the greenish hue. So I know that's a rule of thumb. So generally speaking, if we do like a lot of kitchens and baths and stuff like that, yeah, green doesn't pop up very often in that regard for us. But yeah, I'm not sure how many this will take, because it would be, I would like to do one more on camera, which means I might need to save a lot of detail stuff for off in case this thing takes more coats. I would like to finish when I do. It might be worth just doing maybe 2 coats of this on camera, and then after that, jump on. Wow, this thing needs some black mixed in. It feels like it's actually wanting to dry brighter. I need to concentrate real quick on this. Although it may be the wrong color, but it's still better than the primer, so. He's getting his character. And these are also the kind of videos where I'm hoping, like, please don't have this video get corrupted. Please don't have this video get corrupted. Because all I need is something to corrupt. Like, what was it? One of the ones I did, I think it wasn't the last one that went up, I think it was the one before, where somehow between swapping the video from my laptop to a hard drive to my desktop to finally upload it online, the thing got corrupted, and I was watching the playback of the video, and it got to 40-minute mark and just stopped. It was like, oh, we can't do this, and something happened in the transfer, so it wound up being going from the laptop to the hard drive end of things. So I was able to, you saw the result, I was able to make it kind of work in the end. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, please let this thing record correctly. Don't be corrupted, be good. Because all I need is now is to get this close to the end of the project. You go and turn on the video, and all of a sudden, like, bam, this stuff is already done. Because I can't just, like, put this genie back in the bottle. I mean, it's paint. I can't just redo that. I can't just hide it. So I need this to kind of work. Because this would be too stark a change to try to explain away at a future time. And trying to get stuff in there is where putting these silver things on the back was probably not going to be super helpful. I mean, maybe this works. In the end, no one's going to care because his nail is going to go back there, and no one's ever going to see it. But I think the button's supposed to be brass anyway, or like the goldish kind of color. So I know I threw the metallic one on there, but that's not really the color it's going to be. Yeah, I'm just kind of getting these parts that go inside here first, so if I do want to reassemble them together, at least these parts will be dry. Because I would like to have some kind of, it would be nice to have some kind of assembly at the end of this segment to kind of go, hey, we made some changes, here we are. What are we doing on time? We are doing very good on time. Yeah, I may get a second coat on this, or I might start doing the second coat on this. If the top coat, or if the top portion is able to dry while I'm doing this bottom one, maybe it would be nice to get the second coat, kind of see how much it's going to take, how many coats it's going to take, and I can tweak it too, because this is just, it's feeling very vibrant. I want to put a little black or something in here to tone it down. Because I feel like if you see like a lot of kind of cosplay images or whatnot of people, one of the things that kind of, to me, is a negative on the cosplays is they always, whatever kind of stuff anybody's wearing for those, it always looks like it's a brand new piece. And if you look at like a character in the game or in the show or whatever kind of medium they're going from, you'd want something to look lived in. This is looking a little bright, a little new. It doesn't look lived in. It looks just too stark, too new, too... Here it is. So I think I want to change that appearance a little bit, kind of give it a little darker tone to it, kind of let it look like it's been used, it's been abused a little bit, it's seen some things. And yeah, this is a little too nice right now. Get in there just a little bit. I see a little bit of white, and I don't want to see any white over there. Also, it's really important to cut in really close on the first coat, because then even if the second coat is a different color, you're a little safer if you don't get 100% to the edge. It's still going to be a green in there. It may not be the same green, but you'll still see a green cut in really nice against an edge, and that's pretty much all you need to make the effect work. So usually the first coat I spend a disproportionate amount of time trying to get these cut-ins nice and good and perfect, because then you don't need to worry about it as much in future coats. Okay, let's see. If I hit the metal, it's not going to worry too much, because again, the metal is going to get darkened. So yeah, the metal is going to wind up being darkened up. This green is going to wind up being darkened up. I do like the yellowish tint that I put into it. I think that part's fine. I think it's just, I need a little bit of black or something in here to just to tone it down. I think that's the only real issue I have. Otherwise, yeah, this is feeling very kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of look. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm in that phase right now where I'm just kind of, I know I just did a segment a couple hours ago. I'm already looking forward to doing the next one kind of right away. I'm like at that, I just kind of want to storm to the end of this project. Like it's so close, we're like right there. It's just about done. I want to see what this thing looks like, so. For you, it's going to be like another close to week or so is going to pass between now and the end. I'm hoping to get this thing done as soon as possible, because it's like, oh, I'm right there. How can I hold this thing without touching anything I'm not supposed to be touching? Okay, there we go. We got all the cut in on that leg done-ish. So, good. You know, I could be holding the black and stuff down here rather than the other leg. I 100% know that black is not wet. I've done nothing in terms of that, so. Oh well. I see a little thing of white. And like really impossible to get to spot. Okay, I think I can't tell if I got it or if that's just. Okay, that got it. It's like, I don't know if that's a glisten mark or if that was a piece of white that was just kind of in there. No, that was white. That was white, that was white, that was white. That's what we didn't want to see. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's see. How about I hold this side? Are we on camera? We're kind of on camera. We did have a little bit of black that got where it wasn't supposed to be. That's fine. Yeah, it's funny. You get to certain points in the project where at some points you're like, I just need to stop, walk away for a bit, and I need to think about things. All of a sudden something's getting complicated, or I'm not trusting how this is turning out. And then you get to other sections like this where it's like, oh, we're almost there. Let's hurry through. Get as much stuff as I can done. I don't want to wait. I want this done now. So we're at that phase now. It's like, yeah, I want to get. This is the good part of ending a project. Is you always kind of get into that like, yeah, I want to end this now. I can't look forward to the next one. It's gonna be awesome. And then you kind of start the next one. And you're like, all right, I need a break. All of a sudden, I realize, yeah, I've been doing this too much. Which is partly why I want to have a forced break between this one and the next, because I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get all excited. I'm gonna start the next one right up. Then I'm like, burnout. No. I was supposed to take time off. I knew I was going to want to have some time off. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we got the green into the hard parts. And now... Okay, I do still have some cut in to do. It's not like we're all easy street at this point. We're just significantly more easy street than we had been. That's all. Hardest part is figuring out where to stick your hands. It really is. Okay, we got this, we got this. Let's get a little more of this that we need to get. Okay, we're almost there. Yeah, most of the cut-in is now done. Just have a little more. I'm just double checking I'm still on the camera. We're on camera, so that's good. Yeah, no, I should be talking, should be saying stuff, imparting my wisdom upon you. But sometimes you just run out of stuff to say. Yeah, it's funny, the dark bands don't look too no, it's still bright. We are still a little on the bright side. Okay, any obvious... Yep, we're gonna need to tone this down. That is all of the not right. Alright, so let's go and clean this off. Is it advised that I do another coat right now? Like that's, I mean, it's been about a half hour since I started the first one, but yeah, let's go for it. Okay, for science, we need some black, matte black. I want to... Okay, so we add a little bit of stuff in there. I can use the same green, why not? And wow, that kind of ruined everything. Awesome. I already have so much paint in this thing. Oh, and I think it's all going to be useless because I don't think there's going to be any amount of paint I can add to that that's going to make it work. Alright, so we get to start from scratch. Okay, so we have some green. I did like the addition of the yellow. I think that was beneficial. I think that lightened it up kind of nice. Now we just need maybe a couple drops of this. I don't need to go nuts on the black end. Already I'm feeling a little more of this to bring it back. We don't need to get that on the hand. Okay, I don't think this will be as in your face as the previous coat, but let's see how this goes. We are all dry, so let's see. For science. It's definitely darker. It is definitely darker. And I think I'm not going to do the lower body this time. I'm just going to give that even more time to dry. But I will get this upper part done, with at least, or quote unquote done. I can already see this looks like it's going to take another coat after this, so it looks like the green, looks like the more vivid color you kind of get yourself, anything at least into like the lighter shades of, or it's not lighter shade, what's any more like towards the warm color spectrum. You have your reds, your oranges, your yellows. I guess the green is kind of in there too. You kind of need more coats. You get kind of your cooler end of things, your blues, your purples and whatnot. Those generally don't need as many. They seem to cover a little better, and this already looks like it's going to take another one after this. So we're going to file this under the red category, where it's going to take a couple shots to get the absolute color that I'm looking for, or at least the non-blotchiness that I'm looking for. But this green is already feeling much better. It's not 100% matching that green. You know what, you've been staring at this guy for a while. Let's go back to traditional bang. Let's go back to my inspiration bang image. Apologize for leaving the other image up there for you for the entire time. I'm sure you've been thrilled to stare at that one, but it just had to happen. You had to marvel at all the glory that bang is there. Okay, not sure I mixed enough on this to get multiple coats on everything, but at the same time, I generally know what I have done. I'll be able to get a second coat, at least 1 second coat. Well, phrasing is wrong, but I will get a full coat's worth out of what I have here. If I need to do, like say, 3, 4, 5 coats of this in general, then I probably don't. I might need to add some more, or I need to make some more. But I have a pretty good idea of what I did to get here, so it shouldn't be bad to make another one to get all the way. Wow, this looks so much better than the first coat. Okay, yeah. Yep. All the yips. on time. We have about 15 more minutes to go, so was hoping to do some steel stuff again, but that's gonna get put off probably until next time. I think now we want to just get this green what it needs to be. Whether that's I do it on camera for the future, if I like the way this looks, I'll probably do the lower body one more time on camera. I'll do some of the other extraneous things. And then if it needs more than that, although I really do kind of need this green done so I can do some of the other detail things. But we'll see how this upper body dries. If this upper body dries well, then, and I just need this coat to finish it, then I can do the lower body on camera, and that's going to be fine, because then I know it's going to be okay. If this upper body doesn't dry well, I may just do the whole thing off camera and come back later on, because I do need this to be 100% before I do a lot of the gold work, like the decal kind of work, because yeah, once I get to the decal stuff, I won't be able to touch up the green anywhere near where those decals are without messing them up. And I really need those decals to be the last thing, so here's hoping this coat does what I want it to do, but if it doesn't, again, I can do more stuff off camera. It's not the first time I've done stuff off camera. I know I feel like I'm doing disproportionate amount of the painting stuff off camera, but there is a reason for that. I feel like on the building side, you at least kind of can learn, see stuff that's going on, see how long things take. On the painting side, you get an idea of how long it takes, and it's more of just my own skill of getting the colors right, which I'm not sure that's as transferable over this kind of medium of the video. So I feel like there's less to learn from doing this. How about that? Okay. I'm just kind of getting all this cut-in stuff done, because then I can then fill in the rest without having to worry about this. I am very much liking this green, so much more than the first version. Whether or not this one is the quote-unquote correct green, it is much better than attempt number 1. Okay. I would still like to cut in this stuff nice. Especially because there is such a difference between the shades. Oh, I missed a part too, I just realized. Alright, well, once I'm done with this, there will be one small thing I need to do after this. It's not big, it's not super important, but it is just a part that I missed, that I just realized. And that is, I mentioned before, when I was going to separate the head from the body and make its own separate piece, that's okay, because the cut line I was going to do was going to be covered by a choker, and the choker is green. So I do need to paint that. Or at the very least get a first coat of paint on there. Oh, I love that feeling when you think you're done with something like that, and all of a sudden you see a little white glisten. You're like, no, I missed something. Can't leave it like that. I was really hopeful green was going to cover well in 2 coats, but I think it's going to take the 3rd. And there might be enough paint in here to get all 3, actually. I'm looking at it, and I feel like I haven't really scratched the surface of this. So I'm trying to twist this thing as much around as I can without touching, without moving my hand. So it's like I'm gripping two parts that are not painted. So like I don't want to move this hand if I don't have to. Just flip things around. I can do that, but don't readjust the hand. It's already good. Yeah, that's working. And what I needed was on you. He has the green choker here. So we gotta put a little bit on that. And we're even going to extend this line where there is nothing on there because it was rubbing against the scarf. We do need to put something on that as well. And need to keep in mind that this is a three-dimensional object, so there is a top part to it. So it's not just this flat part here. There is a little bit up top there that needs some love. It needs to get a little bit of something in there. And likewise, might as well stick stuff on the ground there, or on the bottom, on the bottom there as well. Scar could probably be just a touch lighter than what I have. I know I had picked up a lot of different kind of skin tone-y colors, so I might have one that just will work and doesn't involve any kind of additional mixing stuff. Because for something that small, it feels kind of derpy mixing for that. But at the same time, it would be nice to be right. So. Okay, so he's got that. Well, as long as you ignore this part, he actually looks pretty okay. I'm not feeling too bad about the top. But, yep, bottom is not quite what I'm anticipating. Not quite happy with that one. I think that green paint is going to be just straight up gone. And we're just going to stick with this one from here on out. But this is an improvement. Just doing a little cleanup. Alright, you're good. That goes back there. This one requires the plastic. This was apparently a skin tone color before. Like I said, I do reuse all these things. No reason not to reuse stuff. And while I have this, I might as well, I don't think I'm going to use that one again, but I can stick you in plastic for now. And it'll just be safer that way. Even then, if something gets knocked over by accident or whatnot, it will be fine. Okay, so I have you, let's pop those on the side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put all of this back together. I do like having kind of an end view of everything, so I can put this in the holes without shoving it all the way in. I don't need the red to touch him per se, but let's get just kind of a start in there to kind of get an idea of what this is. But if he comes on, he's there. We have the hairs up high. We have me never being able to find... I can never find the hole on this gauntlet. It's just... It's like it's impossible. It's just straight up impossible to find that hole. But there we go. We have a little more of our bang shishigami here. We can even take you off. I really do need to lighten out the hair. That is on the short list of things to do. But if only I had a light source that came kind of underneath, that would be so much more helpful. But no, at least we have a green. It's now too much. It now really does need the extra kind of gold details to really kind of pop this out. I do see now I do actually want to darken out the gauntlets or the boots and whatnot. So this all kind of reads a little more as an element. Right now it's a little kind of disjointed. It almost feels like this hasn't had a coat of paint. It needs something. So we have some elements that need some work. It's going to come. And you know what? I should be able to just... You can stick on. It'll be fine. And yeah, there he is. There's our bang. He's looking okay. Does it look exactly like this? No. Well, again, the pants now being entirely exposed like that is making it look worse. But whatever. He's there. We have a nail that comes up. Nail's on the list. I do need to make this metallic and look good. That's on the list, but it just kind of feels like it's very low on my list of priorities right now. But it is on the list. But he's starting to come together. I need this green to come out better. This 100%. First thing next time, we got to change this green. That is just, we need that done. And then from there, we'll see. I might do a first coat on the gold stuff, or I might try to do a final coat on these. But we're gonna go from there. So next time, big change on that. Then start kind of ironing out a lot of these details. A lot of these details. But otherwise, that is where we stand. That is the next part of the Bank Shishigami project, and we are getting near the end. I wish this first coat looked better than this, but it is what it is. Just look at it, laugh, and enjoy.